Hey everyone, Christina Del Rey with your forecast for the week of January 11th, 2020. Very big week in astrology. I think that perhaps myself and some other astrologers as well, perhaps we underestimated the astrology of last week. But the truth of the matter is, I think now that Mars is in Taurus along with Uranus, and even though they're not quite together yet, they are going to meet in the sky, so they are applying to each other. And this is going to be big shakeups and unpredictability, and possibly even violence, I hate to say. So there are a lot of unpredictable energies going on, especially for January and February. It does look like it will get a little bit better after that, but there will be social unrest probably pretty much all year. I honestly did not expect what happened in the nation, in the United States, until like the 20th or around the 20th of January. So it will be interesting to see how that energy manifests on that day. But for this week, we have a new moon, and it's a very significant new moon because if you remember, we had the Pluto-Saturn conjunction in January last year. It was right around exactly the same time. And this is what, like, we didn't know it at the time. I mean, astrologers predicted that there was going to be a major restructuring, but we didn't know exactly what it was going to be. So think back to January of last year when you had really no idea that a wrecking ball was coming through your life. And, you know, you were kind of like, we were kind of like sitting ducks, really. You know, even though astrologers knew that something big was coming, we just couldn't really put our finger on it. We really knew that what I kept thinking was, you know, Donald Trump was going to go down, or, you know, like the structure, the political structure was going to go down. And that was true to some extent, but it was a lot more than that. So anyway, this new moon is going to reactivate whatever you were kind of blindsided with in January. So whatever you started in January, or whatever, you know, whatever that meant for you, that restructuring of your life, whatever completely changed, this is kind of bringing that wound back up. However, we're starting a new cycle on it, and we are hopefully going to manifest a new energy and rebuilding energy on that same degree. So the fact that this new moon is at the same degree just shows that, you know, the universe knows what it's doing. And you're going to be you're not going to be a sitting duck anymore. You're going to be aware of how you have to change, how you have to empower yourself, because this new moon is going to be conjunct Pluto, which is very intense. So intense emotions, you know, stepping into the higher manifestation of this is stepping into your power more fully, reconstructing your life. But this time you're doing it with knowledge. You are not, you know, just kind of sitting there and then boom, something happens and changes your life. It's more like you're empowered now. And Pluto is really about evolution. So what did you learn in the past year? How are you going to apply what you learned in the past year? The biggest thing too with Pluto, I think, is intentions. If you have good intentions, I believe that, you know, you'll get the higher manifestation, hopefully. But if you have manipulative, or if you have, you know, harmful intentions, then, you know, you might manifest the lower side, you know, of Pluto. And, you know, that can lead to all kinds of, you know, not pleasant things like, fighting and violence and things like that. So we want to keep it at the highest vibration possible. You're going to take what you learned and you're going to have a priority shift. You're shifting your priorities now. And the structures that you have built have been torn. How are you going to rebuild them? That's the question that this new moon is asking you. And you should set your intentions as well. And Pluto is very deep. It's very emotional and very deep. So it's important to sit with that energy. And, where was your power taken away? How are you going to take back that power? So we have this, and then we have Mars, in Taurus along with Uranus, and that is shakeups in foundations, money, shakeups, shakeups in resources, because Taurus is all about resources. So there's going to be those, there's going to be that instability or that unpredictability. And as if this new moon wasn't enough, conjunct Pluto, we're also going to have Uranus go direct like a day later. So Uranus going direct is going to be all about freedom and independence from a situation that it's going to be empowering. It's going to free you, and it's going to free you from some wounds as well. So we have a big week in astrology this week. Let's see where this falls in your sign. Hello, Pisces. So on Tuesday, the 12th, we have Mercury squaring Uranus. So this can sometimes be like a trigger of an argument or harsh words. And it can be shakeups in communications too. I'm thinking like internet, goes down or something like that. But you can react erratically to something that somebody says. So you just want to stay mindful. This tends to be a push for the truth too. So, it's it can be tense depending on, how you deal with it. And for you, it might have to do with, somebody saying something behind the scenes, or it might have to do with your own subconscious thoughts, where maybe you are thinking certain thoughts that need to be changed. And, like you're trying really hard to think positive affirmations, or perhaps it's even just, an argument with a sibling, cousin, neighbor, or it could be even an argument in like a, program that where you're learning skills. So, just be aware of differences of opinions and the possibility of being offended, and that it's not the end of the world. And yes, stand up for what you believe in, but don't hurt anybody in the process. On Wednesday, we have the new moon, and this is happening in a part of the chart for you that has to do with groups you belong to, friends, acquaintances. So something really got shaken up for you in this area in 2020. So now, like we said, you're not going to be blindsided anymore. You are going to make a conscious effort on a new beginning and empower yourself in this area. And there might be old wounds that come back up because Pluto tends to be soul contracts and karma. So, think of yourself as, I would say, think of yourself as resolving karma and soul contracts and having a new beginning where you feel empowered with the people that you interact with. On the 14th, Thursday, we have Uranus going direct. Okay, so this is major, and it's happening in that part of the sky that has to do with siblings, cousins, neighbors, but it also has to do with skills that you're learning and your thoughts. So Uranus tends to shake us free, and when he goes forward, everybody feels it. There's like a shakeup in the energy, and he makes an immediate trine to Venus, which kind of means that like maybe you get freed from something. And for you, this is happening in that group area. So maybe you feel like, oh, I'm finally done with that friendship, but it's freeing. Or I'm finally done with that group of people, but I'm free now. Or this could manifest too as you meeting somebody who belongs to a particular group and you really like them, or it could be romantic. So there's a couple different ways that this could play out for you. But either way, I think it's going to be very positive for you. And we do still have Mars in that area of your chart, shaking things up with Uranus. So all month long, well, actually all year long, there's going to be some instability in that area of life for you, in that siblings, cousins, neighbors, thoughts, and skills that you are learning. So pay attention to the lessons and see what you're supposed to free yourself from. All right, Pisces, it will be a great week.